Good afternoon, everybody. You know what? Sorry about that. You know what? It's not Saturday, and yet here we are on the live stream for the Virtual Pipe Club. And the reason why is because I wanted to welcome everybody to a brand new thing that we are doing. But first of all, I want to say welcome to all the people who are watching us over there on, and I'll get a little bit closer so that you can probably hear me, watching over there on Facebook and YouTube. And thanks for joining in. I do see some eyeballs. Today what we're doing is in response to a lot of folks who write in every week and say, oh, darn it, I missed the live stream. I wish I could have been there. What time is it again? Where's the link? All that kind of stuff. So put my two heads together and decided that why don't we do a midweek replay? And so we have so many great guests, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to sort of tune in. And because it's a replay, you can actually go off and do some other things and just listen with one ear, or while you're driving in the car, although you should not be watching if you're driving in the car. Just saying, you know that. Anyway, today is the replay of this past Saturday when we had Amu Torres from the Arlington Pipe and Cigar Lounge in Arlington, Illinois. And she was a terrific guest, a terrific person, very, very knowledgeable for someone so young and super organized. All of us at the Virtual Pipe Club agreed that if this is the face of the next generation of pipe smokers and pipe enthusiasts, then the pipe hobby is in good hands. Anyway, sit back and relax. There's no live conversation going on here because it is a replay. However, if you want to make comments, you can keep the conversation going and they'll actually still get to us. If you have questions for Amu, go ahead and put it into the chat there and we'll pass them along and maybe she'll reach out to you and talk to you personally. Anyway, I hope you enjoy this. And by the way, I would love to hear your feedback. If this is a good idea as far as you're concerned, let me know. If you think this is a terrible idea and it stinks, let me know that too. Either way, for the next 2 hours, I hope that you enjoy this wonderful visit with Amu Torres at the Arlington Pipe and Cigar Lounge and all the rest of the fine gentlemen and ladies of the Virtual Pipe Club. See you on Saturday. Whoa! Good afternoon. Good morning, good evening, good middle of the night, wherever you might be. It is Saturday, the 25th of June, and it's time for the Virtual Pipe Club weekly meeting with me, DDR, and just off camera here, you can just do this, the tip of her nose, Ginger, my co-host, along with all of these wonderfully fine people. Say hello, fine people. Okay, quick poll. What do you guys think about the new theme music?
I like it.
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, I'm overwhelmed by your enthusiasm on that. Thank you so much. Hey, it's going to be a great show today. By the way, just in case you forgot, we're also streaming live out to Facebook and YouTube. And if you're watching out there on the live stream, do me a favor and say hello. Drop in a note. Tell us where you're watching from. Ginger is really insistent that she needs my attention today. And we have 8 eyeballs watching right now. So on my dashboard here, it shows me how many people are watching from the live stream.
Is 8 eyeballs 4 people?
Well, I don't know. See, that's the thing. It just says just has an eyeball and then a number. And I don't know whether that's pairs of eyeballs or not, because sometimes it gives me an odd number, and that disturbs me because I don't know quite what that means. So, and see, right now we have 11. We have 11 eyeballs watching. I don't know what that means. Anyway, wherever you're from, see, we have somebody watching over there on Facebook says, hello from Pittsburgh. Good afternoon, everyone watching from New Jersey. See, that's what I'm talking about right there. It's an international and interstate crowd. What? Oh, she's chewing on my desk drawer because she knows that's where I keep the treats. Okay. Now, Avast. Anyway, I'm so glad everybody's here today. We have a very special guest today. And in honor of our guest, who I met at the Chicago Pipe Show just recently, and thought she was fabulous. And so I asked if she could be a guest on our show, and she said yes. To get the ball rolling here, I'm going to start us off with a variation of our weekly tradition, where to talk about what you're smoking and what you're smoking it in. But today, because Amu is also known as the pipe medic, she's a pipe restorer. If you've got a restored pipe or an estate that needs restoring, or something that you found that looked like trash, but then you had it restored and now it looks like gold, let's show it off. And so stick up your electronic hands and we will go around the room. And Randall, I'm going to start with you, brother. How about that?
Hey, honors. Thank you very much, DDR. Hope everybody's doing fine. Let's see. What am I smoking today? This is a Brebbia. It says Linea on it. It's got a real nice kind of ring grain. Smokes great, clenches beautiful. And in it, it's a pretty bold English blend. I don't know that it has a specific name, but it was made by a Wilkie Pipe Company for another group, the Pipe Smokers of Ireland. And it's a pretty stout blend, but it really smokes good and tastes great. Let's see, who's next? Hey, John Plankett's next to me there.
Thanks, Randall. Let's see. Well, today I'm actually starting off with this gnarly little Bones pipe here. Tell by the coloration on it that it's smoked a lot. As we all know, they smoke well, and I'm doing this Palmetto Balkan for today. Nice, smooth smoking pipe. And in terms of older pipes, many of my pipes are estate pipes that were restored. This is an old Ben Wade that was bought many years ago, restored estate. Nice smoker, and I still smoke it to this day. So that said, let me pass the virtual pipe on to our friend David Martinez.
Thank you very much. What I'm gonna do today, I wanna make a special occasion for this pipe that Tim Heine gave me or made for me. It's kind of like a Debbie Lance, like really pencil thin. It smokes great. And I'm smoking it with this, I don't know if you see it, 8-year-old like opening night. As I don't know if you can see it, but a lot of sugar in the tobacco. It's probably hard to see it, but well, I don't have much in this. I have more at the bottom. And speaking of state pipes, I tend to buy a lot of state pipes in the recent years, mostly in conventions, including the Columbus one happening within a month. And today I got my friend Jim, luckily he refurbishes and buys state pipes, so we don't have to send it to another state and things like that. And I got this Per Jensen or Georg Jensen. It's from 1954. And look at the grain. I mean, it's like perfect there. But then all over the way, it has the same grain, super even. So I will probably smoke this per Jensen since he doesn't make pipes anymore. So let's go with Dennis.
Oh, good. I'm not on mute. Hi, guys. Got Chatham Manor in a old Canute that I picked up years ago. And see, when we're saying restored, I don't think this qualifies because all I had to do was clean it out and somewhat polish the stem, and I was back to normal. The question is, what do you mean by restored? Do you mean that, man, the thing was in so bad a shape you had to refinish it, really polish the stem and totally clean the interior? I've never bought a pipe like that. About a third of my pipes, about 30 of them, are estate pipes that I've picked up over the years off of eBay. But most of the time, I don't have the guts to really work them over like some of you guys do. I cannot do that. So I usually pay a slight premium on eBay and get them that have either already been restored or are pretty close to it. So that's my method at that point. Janos, you've got your hand up. Go for it, sir.
Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. I go Cuban today. Is Spartak number 1. And then after supper, I continue. I don't know about the tobacco I choose, but I choose the pipe. Is one of my friend Ron. Is online now. Thank you, Ron, for the pipe. Nice. And continue with Ron. Show us what you smoke, Ron. Ron Smith.
I'm here, not sure how to put up my band. Hello.
There you go. Looking good there, Ron.
Thank you. Not sure how to quite put up my pipe or give my hand up.
Okay.
But anyways, if you can see this, it's not so much a restoration as a salvage operation. We who make them occasionally can't sell them for various reasons, like big pits or some kind of error we make in the process. So what I've got here is one that just had some unbelievable pits. It may have a very short life, but that's what I'm using today.
Fabulous. All right. Now, Ron, are you on a laptop by any chance?
Yes, sir.
So if you look up at the top of your, or in your gallery screen, you'll see some other guys with their hands up, and you can just pick the next one and pass the virtual pipe.
Ah, very good. Okay, I'll try to remember that. Oh, let's see. How about Patrick Grant?
Perfect.
Thank you, Ron. Hey guys, Patrick Grant here in New York, noisy Times Square. I'm actually smoking a noise traditional pot that I got from my superior who runs this park. He does a lot of estate restoration. I actually had one of our pipe guys try and date this pipe, and we're figuring it dates back to probably the 1950s. And in it, I'm smoking haunted bookshop. And since I'm on a phone, I don't know who the back video can be pull up the next candidate.
You can go with Dimitri from New York too.
Good, I'll pass it on to Dimitri over there in New York.
Thank you, Patrick. Well, I don't have any restored pipes with me. They're all inside the house. But I had quite a few pipes restored. I don't do it myself. I send it to professionals. I had some pipes repaired and restored by Team West, also by Tim Thorpe from New Jersey. And today I decided it's corn cob and barley day, so I brought few corn cobs with me. I'm smoking this one. It says Grefko. I'm not sure who made it, but I suspect it's H&B. I also have a couple of old H&B pipes with me. I have these beautiful bushers and old Missouri Meerschaum with a bamboo shank. And I'm starting with a Solani Dorley Flake. That was a gift from Steve Manjur. He gave it to me like about 4 years ago, I think. And also I brought with me some of this McClellan 5120 Virginia. I think that will be my next smoke. And let me pass the pipe to Miguel.
Hi, thank you, Dimitri. So I'm started my day with Tom Elton, rusticated cutty, and in it, it's a McBaron Pure HH Virginia Flake, and then after that, it'll be a Dunhill 3111 Ruby Bark with Orlick Golden Slice. I'll pass the virtual pipe club to Tim.
Thank you, Miguel, and hello, everybody. So today I'm smoking this Peterson Sherlock Holmes Squire, which is really one of the shapes I really enjoy from Peterson. It's a beautiful finish on it, a nice silver band. It's part of their Sherlock Holmes series. So as far as restoration, since I have pipe making equipment, I can do a lot of my own buffing and things like that. I don't really have anything to show you that I restored, but I want to tell you a funny story. A friend of mine from the Sherlock Holmes Pipe Club gives me a pipe for him to fit a stem to. So in the process of fitting the stem, we had a little accident with the shank cracked. So I fixed the shank, and then I was fitting the stem to the pipe, and I was fitting it, and then with the sanding wheel, I accidentally hit the bowl and took a little bit of the finish off. So I was able to put some stain on and finish that undetectable. So let me tell you this. I'm either a good pipe repairman or a crappy pipe repairman. Take your pick. But let me tell you this. I'll be happy to make a pipe for you. Don't give me a pipe to fix, though. It's just not what I do well. That's my story for today. Anyway, let's move on. Let's see. Let's Perry. Let's pass the virtual pipe on to Perry.
Oh, thanks, Tim. Today I've got a pipe by Dvorin from Dvorin Dedovic. It's Morta and in a Rhodesian shape. And I've had this one a while. I like it a lot. It smokes really well. And in it, I'm going to be smoking some KBV Plaguebringer. Not a great label there, but I like that mixture a lot. I like a lot of the KBV Latakia blends. With that, we'll pass it on to Kent Wheelpiper 2. I don't know where the 2 came from, Kent.
Well, when I picked my name for my email, it turns out that someone already had just wheeled Piper, so I just added a 2.
Okay.
I was the second one, and I try harder. So, and that's, lost on anybody who's not in 50 and over generation. I am smoking, right, at least to start off with an Amphora Extra 821 pipe from the 70s. One of those ones that, with some proof of purchase and a few bucks, you can get a pipe from Amphora Tobacco Company. And I had that, one of my first pipes I ever had back in the 70s. And I had lost it over the years, and I found one on here. I had trouble finding one at all. But when I finally found one, it was in really bad shape on the bays. But I won the auction because nobody else wanted it, and picked it up for almost nothing, and restored this, refinished it. It's the two firsts. The first one that I already that I had to first, or at least felt I had to take a picture of it because it was in such horrible shape, and it's the one that I did a whole refinishing on it. I had done some from bare briar, but not to strip it and all that kind of stuff, and got some carnauba on it, and you can't see it shine because of the lighting in here, but I really was pleased with having what I remember from those years ago. I'm smoking in it some cinnamon delight, a spicy but not very spicy black Cavendish from Sutliff, and when I get done with the this one, which will be pretty soon because it's not drilled right, there'll be a lot of tobacco left over. I'll switch over to my yellow bowl Chesterfield from the years 1936 to 40. You can date it because of the propeller mark from 36 before 1940, and the cured with real honey was used in 36 to 40. So there we go. And I will pass the pipe on to Steve just down the road.
Thank you, Kent. Greetings, everybody, and I hope everyone is doing well, regardless of where you are in the world today. Also, welcome to Ron and any other new faces in the Zoom room with us today. It's Saturdays in the summer get busy. I've been struggling to tune in every week, but glad to be here today. Smoking my 2022 club pipe, expertly crafted by our friend Janos, and in it, finishing off a tin of some Peterson Flake today. Gilding the lily a little bit with some Four Roses small batch. With that, I will pass the virtual pipe to Glenn.
Hi, crew. Good morning to all of you. Today, I'm smoking Cornell and Deal Black Duck in a 56-year-old Nording. It's not really a freehand. It's a plateau top stump, I call it. It's actually got, on the one side here, you can see some of the roots coming out of the briar that were, part of the plateau top. I've had it since the 60s. Been smoking it since new. Good old pipe. And my restoration pipe is a 1980 Mastro di Paia Gigante Billiard. I took this one all the way down to bare wood and then restained it with a mix of mahogany and orange stain to bring out some of that grain. And it turned out very well. It's a kind of a fat little pipe, but a very nice one. And in response to Kent's display of his long pipe, here is my triplet of the same pipe. Liked them so much, I picked up 3 of them. And they're all the honey cured pipes with the well in them, and they all smoke very well. Irreplaceable bits though, so if you ever break one, be prepared to open your wallet. So with that, let's see, nobody in my display here. Let's see, how about, I don't see any hands on my display.
I don't see any hands either, but I saw a couple of people sneak in. Let's see. There's Michael Schroeder. Michael, you want to pick up the pipe there?
Thanks, DDR.
How are you all? It's a wonderful day today. I am smoking my club pipe for this year, and I'm smoking some tasty cake from the original batch that Russellette made way back when. So it's probably about 15 years old at this point. As far as restored pipes go, or estate pipes, I think that any pipes that we own and that we smoke, they are technically estates, even though it might be our own estate. So that would be way too many to go into, so I'll just leave it at that. And I don't know who else. I guess, who can we pick?
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael. Let me pop in here because we may only have Amu for a short time. She's doing both, giving us some time of her own to be our guest, but also she's manning the store. So maybe we should just jump right to Amu and say, what are you smoking there, my friend?
Well, thank you. Actually, it's really cool to see how many estates are restored, or how many of you guys restore your own pipes or fix and clean your own pipes. It's always fun to see people do their own. I am smoking, this is a Peterson emblem. Well, they were called emblems in the 1896 catalog. They stopped making them in the 50s. I've dated this one between 1906 and 1950. It's an old Peterson. I don't know if you can see it. It's got actually really nice markings on them. If you can't see it, I encourage you, and you're a Peterson fan, I definitely encourage you to check out Mark Irvin's website, the Peterson Notes website. If you type in Peterson emblems, they're really cool pipes. And I am smoking a 40-year-old Peterson University flake, so it's kind of a Peterson day for me today.
Wow, that is a Peterson day there.
I like
I'm a little bit of a Peterson nut.
I like you already. I'm a big fan too. I'm a big collector.
There you go, Tim. There's my Baker Street.
Oh my God, that is so awesome. That is so
Wow.
cool. I gotta get one like that. That is so cool.
I think that is that's a live stream right there. I want to be there live streaming when Tim gets his Peterson tattoo.
Me too.
Right.
I'll pitch in a couple bucks for that.
There we go. Yes.
That sounds like a great idea for a show.
That is the show. We'll all have to
where
get.
he's going to get it though.
Yeah.
And when I say where, I want to know what part of the line.
Yeah, we got to keep this a G rating.
Right. You know, for those of you just tuning in on the live stream, we were talking about this before the show. This is why you have to come on the Zoom room, because, well, let's just say that it's not quite always G rated before the show, or after the show.
You don't know what you're missing.
Anyway, hey, I want to share something really quick, and then we're going to jump back to finding out more about Amu. First of all, I'll do my little thing with my estate restoration. This is a beautiful little stand well that I also got off of eBay at some point in time, and it was in such good condition. All I had to do was buff it out. I think I did some work on the stem. Ginger wants to be part of the show. But I love this pipe. It's actually a fantastic smoker, really comfortable in the hand, as all the Stanwells are, just really beautiful. I have two pipes that I'm going to be smoking today. This is my Llanos Coquinos Special, one of these beautiful pipes that he makes. And I'm going to be and then I'm going to, if I finish a bowl in that, one of my Chris Kelly, the Bones Crawler, I love it.
That thing is awesome.
Isn't this a fantastic pipe? Now, but more importantly than what I'm smoking it in, is what I'm going to smoke. And there's a reason I want to talk about this, because I picked up a bunch of tins at the Chicago Pipe Show from a table that was run by our guest today. And she was, they had all kinds of stuff that they were selling there. And basically, she told me that if she didn't sell it all, she wouldn't be able to go home. So I tried to help her out a little bit. And these were special.
Took pity on my soul.
Yeah, just help a friend out. You know what I mean? So this is a special Cornell and Deal blend made specifically and exclusively and limitedly to the Chicago Pipe Show from the table from the Arlington Pipe and Cigar Lounge. So this is one of them, and this is an aromatic. But it's not just any aromatic, obviously. It's a mature aromatic, not one of those young puppy, whatever this, so mature, whatever that means. Anyway, I have not yet opened it up. So here it is on camera. Never before. Facebook uses, what is the Zoom address? Well, I'll tell you what, buddy, just hop on over to the Virtual Pipe Club page, and it should be pinned to the top of the group there, and grab the Zoom link and just come and join us there. For those of you watching on YouTube and wondering, like, how come I don't get a link? It's because every time I post a link on YouTube, we get Zoom bombed by Pornhub. So we really lose our G rating. All right, so I've opened up this tin of the mature aromatic. Let's take a look. Let's take a sniffy sniff. So I can smell the candy right off the top. It's very caramel, so there's a real caramel kind of aroma there. In fact, that's really what it smells a bit like, a caramel macchiato right there. Tiny, very faint notes of the coffee, but yeah, just it's pretty sweet in the nose there. Any other aromas are pretty much drowned out. It smells very creamy. I'll have to taste it to see if it's creamy, but you know, not so oily, creamy but oily. So I'm gonna pass this into my pipe and light it up, and I'll talk about it later what it tastes like. But having introduced this, I wanted to start off the conversation in a weird way, and that is, Amu, why did you go to the Chicago Pipe Show? Like, what got you there, man?
This year? This year, we went with the store, actually. Yeah, so the shop, this was our first year having our own table. And we actually had 4. It was a large presence. We had a wonderful time doing it. I'm also the secretary of the Chicago Pipe Club. So I kind of wear both hats when I'm here, the pipe and tobacco specialist for the shop, and then the secretary through the club. So I kind of was finding myself at that show, no matter which way I tried to dodge it. Just kidding. I love being at the show. Oh my God, what an amazing time. I actually recognize some people. I think I recognize some of you guys from going. Looks like there was a good amount of people there.
So, in other words, this is not your first year at the show. How many years have you gone?
This is only my second year. So to be fair, I actually went to I got the last year at Pheasant Run. So I got to meet a lot of people there and see the end of the Pheasant Run era. And then this year.
So in coming to the show representing, if this is your first year at if this is the Arlington's first year at the show, to take 4 tables is pretty bold. Like, did you guys tell me how that came about? That's the question I want to ask.
Yeah. So, the biggest reason that we wanted to have such a large presence there was because of how big our pipe room is. Honestly, we kind of wanted to make a faux pipe room almost there. So we brought a good amount of our bulk. We brought a large selection of our LaDisi products, so Cornell and Deal, GLPs, Savinelli tobaccos. Of course, we had, almost 500 blends of the specialty stuff that you're smoking. So we had that to display. And then we also have a large estate selection. And I've also been squirreling away tobacco for the last couple of years. Every time I run across an estate collection, or anytime we get some type of specialty product or a small batch or anything like that, I kind of was squirreling away a couple of tins in anticipation for the show. So of course, since 2019, we've got 3 years that we're kind of squirreling away all of this stuff, estate pipes and limited edition run pipes and tobacco and then all of our regular product. And so we said, we have all this stuff and it's awesome and exciting, and let's go big or go home. So we just kind of decided to go big. It was really exciting. We have done the show previously, partnered with LaDisi as their retail partner, but this was the first time we were all on our own. So that was really exciting. And then for those of you who were able to come to the show and come to our table, you'll know that Jeremy Reeves from Cornell and Deal actually was at our table with us, helping just being an extreme help for us. And so that was pretty fun too. So we still had a little bit of that connection with the Cornell and Deal side. So
yeah, they were doing a lot of traffic there. If you had watched the live stream that we did from the Chicago show, you might have remembered that there was we had a slot for Jeremy to come over and talk about some of the blends, and I couldn't get him to come over because he was busy at the table. No. I thought that was great, actually. I'm like, that's, I want to encourage that to happen. Well, let's go back to the beginning, shall we? Tell us about how you got involved in pipes, and even before that, your life story, where you were born and grew up, and everything that is embarrassing about your childhood, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'm from California. I was born and raised out there. I moved to Illinois in January. It'll be 10 years. So I've spent the majority of almost all my entire adult life in Illinois, in Chicago, in the area. My dad's family is from Puerto Rico, and many, many years ago, close to 80 or 90 years ago, our family owned tobacco fields in Puerto Rico. And my dad was always a huge tobacco consumer, specifically cigars. He always was smoking cigars around us, and always never really discouraged us from smoking. So I started puffing on. He used to tell stories of me, tiny little me, running around up to him, and he would feel a tug on his cigar as he was resting it, and he would look down, and I was trying to puff on it. And so I've always really been into tobacco. And on that, my first cigar I had, I was about 12, and I just the love went from there. First thing I did on my 18th birthday is I signed myself out of school and went and bought my first cigar legally. And then went and got tattooed. It was a good day. But yeah, so I've always really been a tobacco enjoyer in all varieties. I enjoy snuff. I enjoy antique cigarettes. I'm an ex-cigarette smoker, but I still enjoy really good, high-quality antique cigarettes. I obviously am a pipe smoker. I think tobacco is a wonderful crop. I love it, and I'm passionate about it, and it's just something that I kind of have always really enjoyed the taste and the smell and all of it. It's in my blood, I guess.
So if you started with cigars, then how many years was it before you were introduced to pipes and started trying those out?
Yeah, so I was actually just out of high school. So I was about 18. I was meeting with a friend regularly every Sunday. Him and I used to meet, and we would just hang out and we would smoke cigars because he was also a cigar smoker. He was a dear old friend of mine. And every Sunday for months we would meet and smoke cigars. And one day he pulled out a pipe and I was like, the hell is that? What are you doing? We're 17. Why are you, 18, whatever. Why are you smoking a pipe? And I went out and bought a corn cob shortly after that. smoked it on and off for a couple of years. And then when I moved out to Chicago, I had another friend do almost the exact same thing to me. We would meet regularly for cigars and hang out. And one day he pulled out a pipe and I was like, okay, we got to figure out what this pipe thing is all about. So I went to Up Down Cigar in the city in Chicago. And I bought my first pipe. It was $75. It was an Amadeus. It's a Greek pipe. Still have it. I don't smoke it quite as much as I used to, but it's the first pipe I smoke every year. It's the first pipe that I make sure I smoke. It's a tradition I have. And I smoke a bowl of Molta Dolce in it, which is not usually a huge fan of that strong aromatics, but I like to start my year off with something as sweet as I can find in anticipation for a sweet year. So that's kind of what I do every year. But yeah, so that was the first pipe I had. I found Yvonne Reese very quickly after that, as most pipe smokers in Chicago do. And just kind of hung out there. Some of you guys will know Harry from Yvonne Reese. He owned his own lounge in the area for a while before that, but he taught me how to smoke a pipe, or helped teach me how to smoke a pipe, taught me a lot of tricks of the trade. Bought a couple more pipes from them, and then, yeah. Your story kind of goes from there. Just kind of after that, I was starting to kind of get myself a little bit into the community, a little bit on Instagram. It's very big on Instagram as it is on YouTube, and just kind of started to get to know people. I was invited to a St. Louis show. Went to St. Louis, and that was my first show, and from there I was like hooked.
And what year was that?
2016, 2017. This must have been.
I'm just trying to get a sense of how long it's been since you were like deeply into the pipe smoking community and some of the events and whatnot.
It's been about 7 years.
Well, congratulations.
I was not as intensely on Instagram for that long. I was smoking my pipe. I found the Country Squire podcast got me into the Instagram pipe community in about 2018 or so. But I had bought my first pipe in about 2015 and was pretty heavy smoker from there.
On it. Well, we're starting to get some questions from some of the people on the live stream already. So maybe this would be a good time for me to pause and open it up to questions from everybody from the group here. If you're watching over on the live stream and you got a question for Amu, just pop it into the chat there, Facebook and YouTube both. I can see them both, and I'll pass that along to her. But let's go with the Dimitri to start with, yeah?
Okay, thank you for tuning in today. I want to tell that I also like all tobacco-related stuff, and in my collection have some non-government cigars which are for 50 room. And well, I acquired pack of Sherman cigars before 1976. I don't know exactly how old, but they just is 400 Broadway, and they're from 1930 till 1976, so definitely 1976. I decided to smoke one pack, and to surprise, they tasted amazingly. That's you get, you just in high quality real tobacco with any additive.
I'm sorry, that came through a little bit choppy. Can you ask that one? Can you ask your question one more time?
It's not a question. It's comment about antique cigars. I have some not Sherman cigars 50 years old, and they smoke amazingly well.
I think I heard you say that they smoke amazing, the antique cigarettes.
Yeah. After had chat, a friend of mine bought back like so and gave me 7 years old player cigarette. It was delicious.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, there's been a couple that I've found at shows where I'm just blown away. I always look for them at antique stores, shows. We have an antique mall right down the street. There's some really awesome ones that you can find.
I wanted to share a quick story. We brought up Nat Sherman and Nat Sherman cigarettes. So back in the 80s, I was living in San Francisco studying martial arts there, and my teacher was from China. And at that point in time, I didn't smoke. I didn't smoke anything, cigarettes or pipes or cigars or anything like that. But my teacher did. And he asked me to go buy him some cigarettes, right? So, because I would do his grocery shopping for him and all that kind of stuff. And so I went out and I thought, I'm going to get some really nice cigarettes for my teacher, something really special. So I bought him a pack of Nat Shermans. Right? And I brought him these Nat Shermans, the beautiful presentation box, and smelled so nice and everything. So I gave them to him, and like a week later, I asked him how the cigarettes were, and he says, "Could you get me something like unfiltered?" Because he'd been smoking this, like in China, basically rope, and so he didn't want anything so fancy. It was too much for him. So. Is my short story about
That's
Nat
awesome.
Sherman. I see Tim's got his hand up there.
Amu, I might have missed this, but what is the name of your store, and do you have a website?
Yeah. The name of the store is Arlington Pipe and Cigar Lounge, and we do have a website. It's arlingtoncigar.com. You can check it out. We actually, our website's very young. We just got it up and running about almost a year ago, in end of July, early August of last year. So it's a young website, but we're really excited about it. We put a lot of love into it, a lot of work into it, and tried to mirror the pipe room as much as possible. So we see, so far it's been pretty good.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you have the estate pipes listed on the website?
I don't think I have any estates on the website right now. Right now, all of our estates are in person. That is something that we are hoping to do as we get more lots in and more options. We did sell a couple at the show. We did a big every month in the pipe room. We try to do some type of promotion, and we had a big promotion. I think it was in November or December of estate pipes. And so we sold out a lot of our estate pipes there. So I don't have a ton of stock right now, but we are going to eventually put them on the website. Yeah.
I like that you're a big Peterson fan. And since you are, I want to show you this. This is my 1910 Peterson patent house pipe, which
That's a nice pipe.
yeah. And when I bought it with the silver band. There was a crack in it, and I knew it from the beginning before buying it, and so I had to give it to an antique silver repairman to do a repair. That cost almost as much as the pipe, but I love this pipe. It is a killer smoker, and it is just so much fun to have a piece of history. Now, the hardcore Peterson collector guys, they probably have like 30 of these, right? But I've got like one, and I'm like really, really happy with it. So I'm always in search of things. I think this summer I'm going to be spending some of my time like browsing around antique shops and stuff. You never know when you're going to run into something. But let me ask, besides the Peterson brand, are there other pipes you enjoy?
Yeah, I'm just really, as far as Briar goes, to be completely honest, I don't have a ton of artisan pipes. I do have a couple of really nice artisan pipes, but I do focus a lot of my energy towards collecting antique Petersons. I have some I'm also a big Meerschaum fan. I love smoking out of Meerschaum. I've got a nice old Ben Wade Meerschaum. It's a straight Dublin. It's beautiful for a freehand. It's awesome. It's old. I also have, this is actually another one of my favorite Petersons that I own. It's a Baker Street Meerschaum. It's just something you just don't see very often, and just in great condition. And so you'll find me with a Peterson in my mouth. I usually, or some type of, I just call them my beater pipes. I like having no-name pipes that I can smoke around the shop and not have to worry about, damage while I'm smoking at work. So I'm not a very finicky smoker. I'm a I'm a I like smoking a lot of different things. I'm a very bouncy smoker. You'll find me smoking nothing but, you know, heavy Latakia blends for 3 weeks, and then I won't touch them for a month, and I'll only smoke Virginias, and I just kind of just bounce around according to whatever I'm in the mood for, and the same goes with my pipes. But I have most of my collection now, as I've started to kind of get rid of a lot of my first couple of years of PAD. I've narrowed my collection pretty narrow to my antique Petersons, and then of course gifts from either my wife or the shop or friends, and antique old pipes, any type of old estate you'll find me reaching for.
Wonderful, thank you. Good. I'm glad to hear you kind of curbed the PAD. That's not easy. Kind of like doesn't go away.
You know, to be honest, I just get to sit here and stare at all of these all day when I work. So it kind of helps a little bit because I kind of just sit here and I just get to look at everything. And it kind of is what I was doing with my collection anyways, because there's no way you can smoke hundreds of pipes, you know? So it kind of helped a little bit.
Hey, there's a new remedy for PAD. We just go to work for a pipe shop somewhere and
just find yourself a job at a pipe shop. It'll be fine. It was pretty hard the first couple of years because all I was doing was buying for the shop, right? So I'm just buying all these pipes that I think are nice and cool and stuff. But you learn to not do that pretty quick when none of the pipes that you're buying are selling. They're all one style, your style.
I know. I see Kent's got his hand up there, and Little Fat Morgan popped out and back in, and I know he had a question. But before we go on to that, I wanted to pull up some of the questions from the group over there on the live stream. First of all, Alan Carlson is watching.
I know Alan.
Yes, I thought you might, because he says Amu is awesome. And
he's so sweet.
You've got a couple of other fans that have popped. I know you have lots of fans. In fact, when we made the post on Facebook to alert everybody who our guest was today, we got a lot of people saying, "I love Amu. It's so awesome that she's here. Got a great opportunity." So you've got a good fan club.
I'm honored. I'm humbled. I'm very humbled. You guys are too much. I'm just me. I'm just a pipe smoker.
Yes, you're the awesome Amu. That is who you are. So Anthony Edison, who's out in the UK, said, "Can I ask you if you are okay with the P-lip, seeing as how you're a Peterson fan?"
You know, I'm not one way or the other towards them. I actually do have a lot of people who ask me if I prefer P or fishtail. I like both. I don't necessarily find a huge, in my personal smoking experience of Petersons, I don't find a huge shift in one way or the other. I don't lean more towards my P-lips or fishtails. I do feel the difference of the smoke. I do feel when it goes to the roof of my mouth as opposed directly onto my tongue. But I personally don't think that, for me at least, it makes a huge difference, especially in the old Peats like this simple one that I was smoking earlier. This is one of the best Petersons. It is the best smoking Peterson that I own. And it is a P-lip. But I have very, like that Baker Street that I pulled up is a fishtail, and that thing smokes fantastic, you know. So I don't personally have a preference, but I know some people do, and I love that about pipe smoking. It's one of my favorite things about pipe smoking is that your experience is just going to be vastly different from mine based off of what you smoke and how you smoke it, how you pack it, how you light it, how you're tamping it, you know? And so I am always curious to see what other people's opinions are on it too, but that's mine.
Right on. Kent, I see you have your hand up, sir.
Well, thank you. Glad to make your points, Amu. Just to be clear, though, if I remember right, the Arlington shop has been probably in business as long as I've been smoking a pipe. Does it go way back?
1976 is when the shop, actually a little bit before that. It was before it was Arlington Pipe and Cigar Lounge. It was, I can't remember the name of it, but it was kind of like a little tobacco newspaper stand in Arlington Heights. But yeah, you're correct. It's been in Arlington. It's been a staple in Arlington for many years. We moved to this location just over 30 years ago, and then the current owner bought it about 6 years ago. So yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, well, I thought I remembered that. I'm only about 3 hours south, and so I'll fill out an application and I'll get my PAD. What's a commute? A 7-hour commute. What's the problem?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's probably some trains out there that'll take you here. No problem.
That's right. Okay. All right. Good to talk to you.
One other question from the group out there, from the live stream group. Xavier and Cosette. I don't know which one is asking, though, if it's Xavier or Cosette. Wants to know, what Samuel Gawith tobaccos do you have left?
Ooh, that's a great question. We have some Navy Flake. We've got some Chocolate Flake, some Sam's Flake. I've got a little bit of Squadron Leader, Perfection, and some Lakeland Dark. I'm sorry. And we also have the 250-gram boxes of Fire Dance. That's what we have left. Now, the trick on that, though, and it's something that I actually pride myself on, we pride ourselves on here at the store, is that we don't ship any Gawith. We actually don't ship almost any specialty items. So when Esoterica drops, when Kohlhaas and Kopp drops, so, Rattrays, Robert McConnell, Freiberg and Trayer, not Robert McConnell or Freiberg and Trayer, but a lot of the Rattrays, the harder to find Rattrays, any small batch stuff or limited edition stuff, like when Sun Bear drops from Cornell and Deal, or if they have a small batch, we don't ship any of that. In fact, we like to leave it for our customers, for our walk-in patrons, as a thank you for not buying online and for supporting our brick and mortars instead. So because they didn't buy online, we didn't sell it online. So we actually don't ship Gawith. But if you're ever in our neck of the woods, you're more than welcome to come in and grab some tins off the shelf.
There you go. Awesome. Little Fat Morgan, I see, got your hand up there. How are you today, brother?
Doing pretty good. My phone died. What was the name of your website again?
ArlingtonCigar.com.
Arlington. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And one other question from the group out there, of those tobaccos that you do ship, if they buy online from you, will you ship to the state of Maine?
Yes, I don't believe that's on our list. I think Utah, South Dakota, Maryland, Washington, I think those are on our no ship list. Illinois, actually, we don't ship to Illinois online. You have to call the store to get your tobacco. But those are, I think Maine is okay.
Well, there you go. I just recently moved to Washington. So we've been having this conversation on the chat out there about me moving to Washington. And I said, because I want to broadcast this just in case I get any of their help there. I am looking for a good smuggler in case anybody knows one. Miguel and I are probably the closest. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll hook you up.
Can you hook me up there, brother? I appreciate it.
No problem.
Super. Well, I have some other questions to ask Amu. And I have several different themes there, so I'm trying to figure out which one I want to go to. Let's talk about you as a blender. So you're also you also make some blends there in the store that are your store proprietary blends.
Yeah, that's new for us. When we moved into this room, so Arlington had a pretty good selection before I started working at the shop. As soon as Chris hired me, though, he knew that he wanted to expand, and that's when we did the room. So when we came into the room, we were expanding our bulk. And one of the questions became, do we want anything with our own name on it? And it kind of was a pretty resounding yes. So we kind of just started deciding what we wanted. I had been playing with some stuff in my own personal cellar. I was developing a friendship with Jeremy from Cornell and Deal. So I had a little bit of guidance, and actually a lot of guidance and help from him. And then just playing around, knowing the tobacco. I took a blending seminar in 2019 with Per George Jensen at the show, which by no means, is a, it's not an associate's or some, in blending, but it was a good introduction into learning about the blends. So from there, I started smoking tobaccos by themselves. I started learning how to enjoy, I don't know if enjoy is the right word, but learning to appreciate and understand Perique when you smoke it by itself, and Latakia when you smoke it by itself, and Orientals, different types of Orientals, and the different Virginias and the different Burleys. And so you start to kind of understand all these tobaccos and then just get creative. So right now we do 5 blends in store. 4 of them are aromatics. 1 of them is Burley based. The only one that's technically not my personal recipe is our Hobbit's weed. We actually have the good old days of Hobbit's weed. We try to bring it back for people who like it. We do offer that online. We also have our mocha, which is a dark chocolate espresso. We also have, Hobbit's weed, mocha. I've got our sweet English, trying to kind of bridge people over to, give this English smokers a sweet tooth solution, and also bridge our aromatic smokers into the English world if they want. So we have a sweet English, and then we have our 2 smokes. The 2 smokes is our Burley based. That one is, I designed that one off of a Hayward mixture, which was pictured. There's a picture of Bing Crosby, who is I'm a huge fan of Bing Crosby, of his music, of his pipe smoking. And he has a picture somewhere around with a tin of Hayward in the background. So I went ahead and made a mixture as close as I could to Hayward, and called it 2 Smokes. He's got a song called 2 Cigarettes in the Night, and I changed it up a little bit, so we call it 2 Smokes. That's our Burley based, and then with just a touch of Latakia and a little bit of Red Virginia and 3 different types of Burleys. It's heavy. It's got a little nicotine behind it, but it's tasty. And then the last one we did is the most recent, and as wild as it sounds, it is one of my proudest blends. It's called Grasshopper. I'm not sure if anybody's familiar with the cocktail or the dessert Grasshopper. It is a chocolate mint. It is really unique. You really got to be an aromatic smoker to enjoy it, because that mint, it's not overpowering. It took me a couple of months to really get that mint down. I smoked nothing but mint in meerschaum and corn cobs for a long time just to figure out how to get this stuff in there without being too overpowering. But we got it really balanced with a nice chocolate, and I'm just really proud of that blend. In fact, Missouri Meerschaum has officially purchased some to sell in their retail stores, so they are now selling my own blend in their retail
Congrats
store,
on that.
I'm really proud of. Thank you. I'm really proud of it. It took me a long time. I got a lot of help from Jeremy on that one. I called him up, pulling my hair out, saying, what the hell do I do with this freaking mint? I just felt really determined about it. I felt good about it. We brought it in the store a couple of years ago. I smoked it and was playing with it, and I couldn't figure it out. So I told my boss, I said, you know what, screw it. I don't want to deal with it. It's going to contaminate and make the whole place smell like mint. Let's just forget about it. Let's move on. And then we were looking to expand last year, and it was just nagging me. And so I said, you know what, let's bring the mint back. Let's do something with it. I'll call Jeremy. I'll call a couple people. I'll play with it a little bit. So we do some I got to take it home to do some baking, but it's a hell of a blend. It's fun. It's just fun sweet tooth, and those are the 5 that we do here in the store.
For your in-store customers, how has that been popularity-wise?
The Hobbit Sweet is still our most popular. A lot of people, you can't go wrong with this vanilla cherry, but people are starting, it's one of those blends that you got to really, I got to push, because, mint, a lot of people don't want to smoke mint, and I get that. And I'm not going to, it makes sense. It was just something fun I had, this idea I had. So people are excited to try it. They want to try it. But now I have noticed that it is starting to pick up popularity. So it's really exciting to see. We got people coming back and buying it regularly now, and that's really. I'm like I said, I'm honored. I'm humbled. It's been a blast to see it take off.
That's terrific. Yeah, that's nice. I see Kent has his hand up. And by the way, Fadi, I saw your hand up. I was just waiting to break in there. So I'll get back to you in a second. But Kent, why don't you go ahead, sir?
Well, thank you. I hate to, Jones all the time, but you bring up so many good points on your Hayward homage. There are still some people out there who have smoked the old Hayward, and I was maybe going to ask if you've had anyone who's familiar with the old blend compare it to yours, and if so, how did it work? And maybe a shout out to the rest of the group. If you're on a particular forum of any kind and want to put the word out that here's a chance to make a comparison and might get the old blend that you remember and love back again from Arlington. So, any comparisons?
So I actually have not had any comparisons. I can tell you myself because I had never smoked Hayward. It's not as aromatic as the Hayward. It's definitely that burley where I tried to capture a lot of that from. But I have not had any comparisons. I would love somebody to. It does have a little bit of liqueur cocoa. It's very subtle. It's but you do get a lot of the nuttiness from the burleys, and you get a lot of that nice dark chocolate cocoa from some of the other stuff that's in there. Not quite as much of the whiskey that a lot of old Haywards got, but yeah, it's actually I've got a tin of that Hayward. Maybe I'll pop that open and compare it myself. It's old tin. It's maybe not a great smoking tin, but I should probably get myself some Hayward just to compare it for my own pleasure.
Sure, it's a great idea. If you have to, you have to, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ken.
Well, we're about halfway through the meeting time today, and I wanted to take a quick break to make a couple of announcements, and then we'll get right back to the questions.
Yeah.
So the meeting today is not exactly sponsored by these people, but I do want to make an announcement because the Las Vegas International Pipe Show is coming faster than you probably will think. It's at the end of October, and for those of you who haven't heard, it's been taken over by Dave Esserman and Brian Levine, and they are going to put on a fantastic show. We're going to be there. We're also going to have a special suite for people to come by, and we're going to do a cigar night. We're going to do a bourbon tasting one night. So, hope that you guys will come by the suite and visit us there. Tickets have just gone on sale. And I want to encourage everybody to go buy a ticket, early, because if you are one of the early ones, and I'm not running the show, so I don't know what the cutoff date is yet, but it's going to be before, too long. The ticket prices are $40, and it includes a lot of the giveaways that that Brian and Dave are giving away, plus a raffle ticket for a multi-pipe set. I'd say multi-pipe because at first I thought it was 7-day, but it might only be a 4-pipe set from the Four Horsemen, which is Chris Kelly and all of his buddies up there in the UK. And so it is a beautiful custom, and the theme of this particular set are sitting pipes. And so it's over 1,000 pounds sterling, but you'll be able to buy a ticket. You'll be able to have a raffle ticket as part of your ticket price to the Las Vegas International Pipe Show. So we'll put up the website for that. Dave Peterson. Sorry, I don't know what I said. Dave Peterson, and Brian Levine. And please go and buy a ticket because I want to see a bunch of people there. What else can I say? Oh, guests coming up, by the way. We are going to have a virtual tour of the Missouri Meerschaum factory. That'll be after I get back from my trip happening in August. But in 2 weeks, please make a note of this. Mark your calendars right now. Not next weekend, but the weekend after, our really lovely, beautiful, great friend of all, Tom Eltang, will be our guest once again on the Virtual Pipe Club. So mark your calendars for that as well. I'll come back and make these announcements one more time just before we finish up today. But I wanted to make sure that before people ran off, that you had those announcements. Dimitri's got his hand up there, brother. Why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I just to share my experience in tobacco. December went to Buckler Rex, New York, and they told me, "Oh, Dmitry, we just got a new tobacco for Christmas, and it's peppermint flavored, and it's horrible. We don't know what to do." I tried. I think it was worst tobacco I ever smoked. It didn't taste like tobacco at all. It was like smoking candy cane. So I told them, mix it with some Virginia and unflavored black Cavendish. Before that, I tried to mix it with different aromatic and something, and it didn't work. So they mixed with one of the house blends, which is Virginia and unflavored black Cavendish, about 75% of it and 25% of tobacco. I still don't like it because I don't like aromatic, but it was smokable and it actually tobacco. And those who like aromatic, they actually enjoyed it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that mint it's tricky. It really is tricky, man. And I'll tell you, smoking the mint tobacco by itself before I was able to figure out what I needed to do to get it to actually work, it's a lie. It's like smoking, peppermint butthole. It's just so in your face. It's so, hopefully that was G-rated enough for everybody. But
well, I'm just wondering where we can pick up that blend. So if anybody's got an old tin of peppermint butthole, let us know. So
please send me some. I'd love to do a review on it.
I see another hand went up there and then it went away. All it said was Facebook user. So I don't know what that means. Zoom user. So come back. There we go. You just have to put yourself off of mute. There we go.
This is Paul. I've been trying to listen, but I'm kind of by road, missed some of it. But it seems like the discussion on pipe pressure. Is that kind of the conversation going on? I hope so. And if it is, what do you think the most important restoration is that you work on when you do pipes?
I'm sorry, Paul, you were asking what the most important part of a restoration is?
Yeah, if there's any one problem that you run into typically more often that you find is maybe challenging.
We get a lot of broken stems. We get a lot of busted stems. Usually it's tenons still stuck in shanks. I get that a lot. Actually, turning stems is a new trick up my sleeve. I'm still, I can do it. I can do it successfully. I can't do quite perfect replicas yet, but that is a trick that I am learning from other restorers and pipe makers in the area. They have been kind enough to teach me the tricks of the trade. We just got a lathe in the shop last fall, so I've been working on that. Or I should say probably actually in the winter, closer to winter. So we've been working on that. That's definitely the number one issue that I have. And then basic cleanings. I just get a lot of cleaning, which is fun. I like doing it. It's, fun to just turn some music on and zone out and do some basic cleanings. But I would say the stems are probably they're some of my most finicky work, but some of the work that I'm the most proud of when you can really sit down and get that thing looking like it just came out of a factory. It's fun. It's a cool experience to see some of these stems come back to life. But damn, there's so many different ways to fix a stem, to clean a stem, that it just kind of, sometimes you look at things and you're just like, man, that's so much. which way do I take? Which path do I take? So it makes it fun. It does. I used to do everything by hand too, all micro mesh pads, everything just real detail oriented, and so that made it a lot of extra work too. But yeah, broken tenons is hands down number one.
Hey, I wanted to give an update to segue into my next question. For those of you who are watching since the beginning, I cracked open for the first time a tin of this special tobacco that was made for the Chicago Pipe Show by Cornell and Deal, and I deliberately cracked open this aromatic because I don't smoke aromatics, except for one, which is kind of an aromatic that I smoke, and this is very reminiscent of that, and that's Nutty Irishman. So
yes, that is so. And it was funny that you were. I'm sorry, DDR. I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to guide your correctness though, because actually, I got hazelnut and caramel and cream and stuff when I smelled it first too, but it is an Irish liqueur that's on there. So I was curious if it would come through for you. So
oh yeah. Awesome. It's got a very pleasant room note. So, like that's one of the things that recommends aromatics when people, the sweetness is more subtle when you're actually smoking it than it smells in the tin. But definitely it's got that sort of Irish coffee kind of taste to it. I think a little bit more subtle than Nutty Irishman is actually, but that's just my tongue, to taste it. So if you like Nutty Irishman, this could be a good match for that. But I wanted to use that to segue into this question, which is, although these were made exclusively for the Chicago Pipe Show, you have some left over, don't you?
Yeah, so we were the exclusive retailer for them, which is really exciting. It was very kind of them to, promote us like that and to encourage our business like that. So we, there was 4 blends that were made. There was the aromatic, the Virginia Perique, and the English. So a little bit of something for everybody. Neglected my favorite though. I'm a burley smoker, so, but that's all right. I forgive them for that. But yeah, so we actually have some left. Yeah, we did have a couple left from the show. We do have them available on the website. We kind of steered a little bit from our no selling specialty items on the website for a couple of reasons. One, because it has the Chicago name on it, and we believe in the show. We are the Arlington, our lounge is the home base for the pipe collectors, for the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club. So in promotion of the club and of the show, we wanted to put them on the website, and of course sheer quantity, because we did have a chunk of them left. So we do have some available on the website. The Virginia is not, I don't mean to send people in a panic, but the Virginia, we've only got a couple left of, but the other ones we do have a pretty good stock of. So if you're interested in trying them, yeah, head over to arlingtoncigar.com for sure. Pack them up. We'll get them sent out to you.
Yeah, I would say I haven't cracked open any of the other tins, but if they are anything like the quality of, and of course it comes from Jeremy, so good stuff, and
yeah,
and you won't be able to find these anywhere else except for Arlington.
They're done. Once they're done, that's it.
That's it. You know what I would really love, if you wouldn't mind, is for us to get a virtual tour. If you could maybe walk around and take your time so we can see all of the displays and whatnot. I think everybody'd love to see that.
Yeah, so when you first walk into our store, this is kind of the entrance. So you first walk in, and this is kind of our little hole in the wall. You can kind of see where pipe is. We tend to have some type of display here of whatever we decide in the moment. The first thing that you see is our tins. So there are, the last count that I had was 367 That's one for every day of the year, including a leap year, and one extra. So we have a lot of tins on the wall. They range, I mean, a little bit of everything. Yeah, so we've got, of course, we've got Cornell and Deal. We've got Seattle Pipe Club. We've got Galwith. We've got McBaron, all of the staples, Sutliff, everything, all those, you know, classic staples. And then we tried to go a little bit less likely to find at a brick and mortar. So we have like Solani, Robert Lewis. We have Dan Tobacco, Brebbia Tobacco. We carry Wessex, all the Peters, not all of them, most of the Petersons. We have Hearth and Home, Rattrays, Ashton, Sillums, John Cotton. I mean, just Savinelli, Freiberg and Trayer, Colt, you name it. So that was one of the things that we were really excited about, is the way that the wall turned out. As you can see, it's a fairly healthy selection. And then down here, this is something that we were also really excited about doing. These are our smeller jars. What these are a bridge. We don't sell these. These are just for our customers who coming into the store. You see something, let's say, like I want to try, you know, the John Cotton Latakia, but I'm not 100% sure I'll like it. So you just come down here, you find its matching smeller jar, you can pop it open, you can see and smell it before you buy it. So it makes purchasing for customers a little bit easier, so that you can kind of see, you know, yes, I want to try this. No, I don't want to try this. So this was one of our more clever ideas, in my opinion. So we have a tin of almost everything on the wall opened. It also gives me an opportunity to smoke through the wall and to try things that I've never had. I tried doing it. It was a lot. I didn't quite finish, but I do smoke regularly from that selection, just so, you know, I know what we're selling and I know what we have. And then of course, you know, I try to smoke everything so that if there's anything that's not good in there, I can get it off the wall so you guys don't have to smoke it. So yeah, so this is our tobacco selection, our tinned tobacco selection. And then I got my workbench. This is kind of where I do all my shenanigans as far as restoring partially. And then we have another unit, a storage unit that we use that also has a lot of my other stuff on it too, as far as restoring. This is our pipe wall. Our pipe wall has slots for 310 pipes, which we generally try to keep that stocked. We're just a little short of that right now, but we carry a little bit of everything. Most of them right now are industry pipes, factory pipes, some types, Savinelli, Peterson, Brebbias, Nordings. We carry Chacombs. We still have some VCs left. We carry Briarworks, Mearshams, of course, 4th generation, Ascorti, Rossi's, Stanwells, Mastro de Pajas. We carry, I think I said Chacomb, Rattrays, Missouri Mearshams. We carry a number of the different corn cops from Missouri Mearsham, not just the Legends, the Diplomats. We have the Shire series, the Rorys, the Emeralds, the Dagner Pokers, all those fun ones. And then more recently, we have just started to expand on artisan pipes. So we have 2 artisan names in the industry. The first one is Mustran, Daniel Mustran. He's from Croatia. We just brought his pipes in the winter. And then as of the show, Ted Billheimer, he's artisan collector, maker in Harvard, not super far from us here in Arlington Heights. And so we have his pipes now in the store too. Which
I have to say, that was the one carver that I went back to his table like 6 times, but by that time I had bought so many pipes that my wife would have made me sleep on a couch for about a year.
Yeah.
But Ted's pipes are awesome.
Ted is, and he's the sweetest guy. He's just a real nice guy. For those of you who aren't familiar with him, he goes. His pipes are TAB or Tab. It's his initials. So you could look him up. He's on Instagram. He's on Facebook. So you could look up his stuff. And then we've got Daniels as well too. So we've got Eltings, Radiators, Falcons, the whole bit. And then we do have some estates. We carry some Bulliards as well. So we've got, and these are all of our Petes. So yeah. Go through the wall here. See, I got my holes in here. I got my bones. Chris is a dear friend of the shop as well. So our bones and our Savinellis. Yeah, I got our Nordings. This is our basket pipe wall, our price affordable wall, with some of our meerschaums and stuff like that. So yeah, got quite the view here. And then on the opposite side, these are all of our accessories and our bulk. There's Brad. Say hi, Brad. Brad works in the shop with us. He's one of my fellow pipe guys. So he always, I'm corrupting him. Actually, I'm just living. I lied about my PAD being solved. I just live it now vicariously through him. I just tell him to buy all the pipes that I want. So yeah, when he started here, would you have one corn cob? And now he's got like 13 pipes. Whoops. So all right, so here we've got all of our accessories. We try to carry all of different lighters. Everything obviously soft flame, different types of leather goods from all different types of companies, 4th Gen, Chacombe, Castleford, Peterson, all of those different types of accessories. And then here's our pipe. We've got 54, 56 different bulks. I've got them separated as our arrows. Those are our non-arrows. First 2 rows are English family. Second 2 rows are just traditional non-arrows. So you got your Burleys and your Virginias, stuff like that. We carry also, one of my goals was to introduce people to new cuts of blends, because most people who come to brick and mortars only smoke ribbons. So I shouldn't phrase it like that. Most of our clientele was very familiar with ribbons and unfamiliar with different cuts. So we brought in shag cuts, coins, flakes, crumble cakes. I carry the rum twist and whiskey twist from Galwith as well. So we kind of just tried to bring, I've also got vanilla roll cakes, I've got, coins. So just try to have a little bit of variety to get people, we wanted to get pipe smokers more acclimated into just different cuts and learning a little bit about different styles of tobacco. And then in the middle of the room, we usually have some type of promo or deal. This is where we put, like I said, once a month, we try to have some type of a promotion for pipes and tobacco, or just one or the other. This month, all of our pre-packaged bulk that we took to the show is on sale. It's 15% off. So you'll see usually some type of table here when we get Sun Bear or Christmas pipes, or Ted's pipes will go there at the end of the month when they're off of there. So we just kind of use it as a display room, but there you go.
Wow. I don't know about you guys, but that's one of the most well-organized pipe displays and tobacco displays I've ever seen. That's just fantastic.
I'd like to compliment you on those little jars that you can smell, the tins. That is really clever.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
clever.
It actually started off because I noticed that when I first started here, of the 100 blends that we carried, I had an open jar of maybe 40 of them at home, and I told my boss, I said, do you want me to bring my jar, and I'll just put a little thing that says "smell me" on it. I'll throw it there, see if we can't get some more. Or I would, we'd get a small batch in, and I'd open a thing up, and I'd be constantly reaching under the table to let people smell it. So instead, I just left it on there. So then we got this idea of, well, why don't we do this for everything? People love being able to smell it. It makes sense as a consumer. It just makes sense. So we printed off the labels. So the labels are, they match the actual tins. And yeah, I go through a couple times a year and clean the jars, replace the tobacco, check for mold, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I actually just did it it took me about 6 hours before the pipe show. I just did it the week before the pipe show to replace all of the jars. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. It was one of our, in my opinion, if I can boast a little bit, I think it was also one of our smarter decisions in the room. So thank you for that, Tim.
Very cool. Gentlemen, let's go ahead and open up to some questions about the
I got
showroom.
A couple, Dave. DDR, I have one. First of all, mention the same thing Tim said. How organized and clean your place is. That's amazing, because many other places where you go is like, no, they don't know anything. Another good thing to compliment you is about what you sell, so you can guide people on what to buy based on things that they have done before. Sometimes you go to other brick and mortar stores and they say, yeah, this one tastes like strawberries, taste it. It's like, so you don't smoke, right? So I appreciate having somebody like you guiding people. But one of the things I love about you trying, for example, here in Kentucky, unfortunately, by law, you cannot have anything open. So I don't know if probably in Chicago you can. That's one thing I recommended the lady at our shop, but in Kentucky you are not allowed to do that. So you guys are lucky that at least in Illinois it's still available, and the police doesn't show up and close or give you a ticket for those things. So keep doing that because
I did not know that.
it was amazing. So congrats on that. Well done.
Thank you. They make fun of me a lot because I'm not that mean about it, but they'll come in my room and I'll say, "What are you doing in my room?" You know, just the employees, never any of the customers. Say, "What are you doing in my room? You get that box for that? Can you make sure?" But they're always like, "Stay out of Amu's pipe room."
One of the questions I have for you based on the previous topic about your blends, because I blend myself and I have so much fun, but of course, once you have the final one, you probably have to have 5 to 10 different options when you try different proportions, and you waste a lot of tobacco until one comes. So I'm interested in Orientals. What kind of Orientals do you use? And if you have blends either for yourself or that you are planning on bringing with Orientals, please?
That's a wonderful question. So we don't have any blends with Orientals. We are not gonna do any more expanding for a little while. So I probably won't be playing around with any Orientals anytime soon on my own. On a more personal note, I really like Casturi. I love Orientals. I like the tangy, the vinegar, the sweet. They're just so there's so much variety in Orientals. If I'm gonna smoke in the English family, I usually tend to lean towards American or Balkan blends because I do like a little less Latakia and a little bit more of the subtleties of the Burleys and the Virginias and the Orientals. So I'm a big Greek Oriental fan. That's something that we would like to play with. We have some Izmar Turkish here as well that I like to play with as well, but it's not anything that we have officially yet. So, and thank you, of course, for the compliments. I appreciate it. It means a lot to us.
No, you did it great. Like, I like to do a lot of Macedonian, Janish, Drama, and Bashma the most, and I tend to smoke them on their own, and then sometimes adding pinches of Burley or Darkfire or even Perique by itself. I make a blend with just some Macedonian and Bashma combined with Perique. So if you like to try these things, maybe we can talk outside someday and about the Oriental
You can
mixes.
always reach out to me. I'll always smoke any Orientals you want to reach out to me. And you know what? I think that's wonderful. I think Bashma's another one that I don't know. I started appreciating Orientals actually when I first started smoking antique cigarettes. Because I actually have an open pack of Egyptian cigarettes right now that are from the 20s, and they are just delightful. The Orientals in them are just out of this world. Maybe we can work out a trade.
There we go.
We can do that. I have plenty of blends, and I have some Periques. Like I'm good friends with Mark Ryan, and I have one in particular he sent me that it's like just Perique with Caturini, and I've been smoking it by itself. That's the way of learning more about complements like Darkfire or Perique or Orientals itself. So I recommend you doing that with no addition of Latakia or Virginias whatsoever.
Absolutely. I think that's a fantastic recommendation.
I see Fadi's got his hand up. Fadi finally came back there.
Thank you.
On
Thank you,
FadiNetworkTelevision.com there.
I just have a question about blending. When talking about blending, what are the keywords or the magic words that you would use for a good blending?
Ooh, that's a wonderful question. Honestly, I think the biggest word that comes to mind first is what's your goal? So goal. Are you searching for a sopping wet aromatic? Is that what you want to make? Are you searching for a nutty burley or a cocoa burley? Are you searching for an English, an American, or an Oriental? Can you taste and tell the difference between the three? I think whatever your goal is where you have to start. It's one thing to say I want to blend, and then from there I want to blend. You want to blend an aromatic or a non-aromatic? Okay, I want to blend a non-aromatic. Okay, so do we want to blend an English? Do you want to blend a Virginia, or do you want to blend a Burley? I want to blend a Burley. Okay, do you want nutty Burleys, or do you want cocoa Burleys, or do you want both? So I think starting off with that big first broad question, at least that's how my brain works. I'm a very type A personality. I have my boxes. I like when my things fit in my boxes. I have my lists. So for me, that's kind of where I start, is that big general question.
We have a question.
And then balance.
Oops, my camera just went off there, but that's okay. We have a question from the live stream group. Stratman says, I'm also a Burley smoker. What's your Burley recommendation?
First Burley right out the bat, and I actually appreciate. I apologize. I forget who was smoking it. The Solani aged Burley flake. Excellent. If you can get your hands on it. Oh, is that you, Dimitri? Dimitri's got a 10 of it, I see.
Well, actually, for a long time, I didn't like Burley. For me, smoking Burley was like smoking peanut shells until I tried this.
Yeah, for a lot of people, that
and
is
what Burley is all about.
Yeah. So I actually I started liking Burley. I actually started with Haunted Bookshop because I was a cigarette smoker. And so for me, I actually was able to taste a similarity between the Burleys, which I know some non-cigarette smokers can taste. So I fell into Burleys the opposite. I've always liked Burleys, even if they tasted a little like a bookshop. But
yeah, also, if you like Burley, it's always a good suggestion to try Toscano Cigar, which is dark fired Kentucky, and that's basically dark fired Burley.
Yeah.
In Toscano, they use tobacco grown both in Italy and the United States. And you can actually cut that cigar and smoke it in a pipe.
We actually have a very healthy selection of Toscanos, and I love that recommendation. I think that's a
yeah,
good recommendation.
I'm looking forward to trying the new ones. So they try to release 2 ones, Master Age, number 1 and 3. I haven't tried them yet, but just a few days ago, I was hanging out with Michael Capellini, who's the United States brand ambassador for Toscano cigars.
Oh yeah.
Good friend
I
of
haven't
mine.
had a chance to try that one yet, but I'm gonna have to work on that one. The other one that I really enjoy is Wessex Burley Slice. This is another one that I think is a great place to start for Burley smokers. It's more of like this one is a straight Burley, whereas the aged Burley flake from Solani has Kentucky and Brazilian leaf in it. So if you're looking for just a pure Burley, this is the way to go. It is super fruity, which is just so fascinating to me, the way that they process it. It just has this very nice like cranberry, raisiny smell to it. If you're a new Burley smoker and you've never had a flake, so you're looking for a Burley to smoke that's a non-flake tobacco, I would say a really good bet would be, we carry the aged Burley flake number 5 from Cornell and Deal. I really like this one. This is more of like a broken flake. It's a little bit easier to work with than a traditional flake. You could also try, obviously, the Haunted Bookshop. The Pegasus is a interesting one. It's a Burley Virginia Perique. I like it because it kind of reminds me of a fancy version of an old codger blend. So it kind of reminds me of like a Prince Albert, but like a high-end version of that. So
Lane Limited. Yeah, Lane Limited, they straight white Burley is very high quality. I use it in some of my blends. It blends very well with other tobacco and brings nice, very balanced, smooth flavor.
Yeah, I like a lot of lane stuff. If you're an arrow smoker trying to get into burleys, I would always recommend Burley Light without a bite. That's another one that is a good one to start with. If you're used to something a little sweeter, but you want to try burleys, then you can go from Burley Light without a bite. That's a good one too. Lane has, I agree, they do have good burleys.
And also for people who likes the hunted books that you sent, to me, Cigar Ready and Mild, you can go for more bolder ones like Old Joe Crunch, which is stronger, more nicotine content, but delicious. If not, the Irish Flake, it's the more plain, straightforward burley with a little touch of Virginia, but it's strong. So I recommend people to have a good dinner before that one.
Super. One other, I finally got my camera working again. One other question from Stratman about the burley. How do you go about packing your flakes?
That's a great question. I love cube cuts. So I actually will take the time to cut my flakes into cubes, which, you know, I'll rub them out too. I'm getting the hand, it's hard to smoke flakes folded and stuffed at the shop. Because I'm running around, I'm putting my pipe down so much, I'm helping people, I'm talking, I'm, you know, ringing customers up. So I put my pipe down too much to really fuss with a flake in its true traditional form. But I prefer cube cut. So I'll take I have a sharp knife that I use that's only for my tobacco. I've got a couple of cutting boards here on my desk. And I'll actually just stack them up and just cut really small little cubes. And that's my preferred method for my flakes.
Amu, could you walk back over to your desk and maybe show us one more time your little work area there?
Oh, it's such a mess though. Sure. So I've got some of my shop pipes up here.
Wait. I want to spend a moment here chuckling about that comment that it's a mess. Because guys, check this out. Show us your desk there.
It is a mess. It feels like a mess. It feels like a mess because I don't know. I don't know. But I've got my Soda Crate jar with, these are my personal, you know, jars from home. It's actually, they're identical to the smeller jars. They're just larger, which is how we got the idea for the smeller jars. So I've got my personal blends, some of my personal pipes. Got my little library here, as well, of course, my shrine to Peterson. I've got my old Pete and my book here. And then my old jewelry case that I use for my restoration. This is actually really cool. This was a gift. This is called a Scotia. One of the Pipe Club members makes these. He was at the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pipe carrying case. And you can actually, the top folds over and it holds 4 pipes. It comes with these jars, cutting board. It's wonderful. So this is a new addition to my desk. And then right above, like I said, I've got some more personals, library. I just like antique tobacco memorabilia. So I've got some antique pipes. This is an old snuff jar. Here's some old Ready Rub, actually a gift from Todd Billheimer. I've got, old antique lighters. I just have always been into kind of antique tobacco, anything memorabilia. And then, of course, I have my show pipes. So when people come in asking me what happens when they use a torch on their cigar, on their pipe, I like to show them this. And the hole, there it is. You can kind of see that hole right through there. So got some of those to show customers. So yeah, I got my antique radio for some music. So I like to keep it nice and fun around here.
My goodness. Dimitri, you're breaking up really bad there, brother. Let me go over to Miguel here real quick, and then we'll come back to you, Dimitri.
I just want to give a comment. I'm pretty sure the owner of that shop will watch this on YouTube. I just want to let you know that you are the biggest asset of that store. That the hobby is in good hands. Every time I see people like you, that young, So, ladies and gentlemen, the hobby is in good hands. Now, you know your products, you know your market, you have a good attitude, and all I can tell you is basically a comment that I give you is I'm hoping that the owner actually watch this because you are the biggest asset of that company.
Oh, Miguel, that is honestly, I am absolutely humbled. I'm honored. Like I said at the beginning, I'm just a pipe smoker. I like smoking my pipe. I like fudging around with tobaccos. I like cleaning up pipes. I just like doing it, and I get to get paid for it, and it's exciting, and I'm very honored. Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you.
Remember to show him the hour and 44 minutes. That's where you can stop. That's where Miguel said that. He doesn't have to go through the whole thing.
Randall, go ahead, sir.
Amu, Miguel is absolutely correct. Boy, if I ever saw Marketing 101, he nailed it right square in the middle. It's perfect, and it's true. My question, my thoughts. Are you a fan of corncob pipes?
I am. Yeah. I don't smoke a ton of cobs. I'll lean towards my meerschaum for a lot of the same reasons people lean towards cobs. Obviously not the beat 'em up type of reasons, but the no ghosting, the little cleaning maintenance, the ability to smoke multiple bowls out of them. I lean towards traditional meerschaum, but I do like cobs. Actually, I've got one of the Dagner pokers on my desk here, but yeah, I do like cobs, yes.
I saw that there. That's why I asked, because I like cobs. I like briars too, but I'm a big fan of cobs. They just work.
Yeah. They do.
Okay.
And you know what? They're so practical. I love pushing Missouri Meerschaum's cobs. I mean, there's a reason they've been doing it for 153 years, something like that. You know, there's a reason that they've been doing it for so long. They are excellent smoking pipes. I will stand behind a Missouri Meerschaum cob all day. Just because they're not my preferred smoking method doesn't mean I don't believe in them. I think they're, and of course, custom cobs have been really exciting too lately to see. The last 3 or 4 years, we're starting to see people make some really cool cobs, and so that's fun and exciting too.
Another note, Missouri Meerschaum, they're American. They're an American company. They're super success story. Red, white, and blue all the way. Okay, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tim, you're up next.
Yes, Amu, I have a question for you. I'm sure you get a lot of seasoned pipe smokers that come into the store. What's your approach to dealing with somebody who comes in off the street? They're a novice, maybe they smoked a pipe once or twice, or they want to start. Do you have an approach that you utilize to help that person? Besides that, I want to say, yeah, Miguel is totally spot on with you are an asset to that store.
Thank you. When I walked into Up Down Cigar for the first time, and it was not Phil, but I cannot remember the name of the gentleman who helped me, but I remember walking away and thinking, if I ever worked at a cigar lounge, I would want to be exactly like how he helped me, because he took 45 minutes to show me everything about the pipe, how to pack it, how to light it, how to smoke it, how to clean it. He was so detailed, and it was exactly how my brain worked. And so that's kind of the approach that I take with customers too. When somebody says I'm a new pipe smoker, I usually kind of look out over my shoulder, and the guys at the register go, all right, well, she's gone for the next 45 minutes. Because I do like to spend that time answering all the questions and the details. Like I said earlier, I'm a very detail-oriented person. So I like to give people a broad overview of what it is about smoking a pipe, what it is to smoke a pipe, how to, and then kind of go into their detailed questions. We usually start off with a pipe. I usually recommend price and aesthetics as the first two important parts of buying a pipe. The reason that I do that is because in my experience, I've noticed that a lot of pipe smokers a lot of new pipe, people who've never smoked a pipe before don't have what I refer to as a flavor memory. They don't know what, they don't know what McBaron Original Choice is supposed to taste like. They don't know what Burley's taste like. They don't know what aromatics taste like. What they know is it sweet? Is it not sweet? Is it burning the shit out of my mouth? Mm-hmm. And is it staying lit? That's about it. And so I usually gauge them towards finding a pipe that they think looks cool and that they think they look cool smoking. I will steer them away from really, really small bowls or really large bowls. But as far as bench, straight, brand, all that stuff, I usually kind of just let them pick for themselves. I've found that pipe smoking can be very discouraging for a lot of new pipe smokers because the damn thing just won't stay lit. So if you think you look cool smoking your pipe, you're more likely to keep picking it up. If you think your pipe is a beautiful piece of artwork, you're more likely to pick it up. If I hand you a straight pipe that's my style, boring straight pipe like this, 99% of people will quit pipe smoking. So I usually just kind of let them guide what kind of pipe they want, and I'll suggest, maybe a smaller bowl, maybe a larger bowl, whatever. But that's usually how I let them pick a pipe. And then from there, we go to tobaccos. I usually don't recommend people get more than 1 or 2 ounces of something. Again, practicality reasons, it can be overwhelming to have a bunch of things. I'll let them sit there and smell. I'll take the time to open up every jar with them if they want, figure out what kind of things they like. What did grandpa smoke? What did, uncle smoke that really made you feel excited? Or what are you looking for? Why do you want to smoke? Are you a cigar smoker coming to the pipe world? Or did, Pops just pass away and you wanted to honor him with a pipe? Or, I tell people that I specialize in nostalgia. So the number one question that I usually like to ask people is, why are you smoking? And so from there, we can kind of determine what kind of tobacco we're getting, what look we're going for, what energy that they want to display. I usually recommend bulk over tins for a new pipe smoker because they can experiment more at lesser price. And then we start to see them come back for the second or third time, and we start to look at, all right, now what are we looking for in tins? Do you want to stick with the same style? Do we want to venture away? Do you want to accessorize? So we kind of just I try to build a relationship with them so that we can keep coming back and we can keep directing them.
It sounds like a very thoughtful and comprehensive approach. It sounds really good.
I know.
Thank you.
We are just shy of 10 minutes left in the meeting today. By the way, Amu, I do this every week when we're getting close because I don't want anybody to leave yet. For crying out loud, I know that we keep the meetings to about 2 hours so that if any families or spouses come running in and say, "What are you still doing on the?" I don't want to get anybody in trouble.
I haven't gotten kicked out yet. So.
No, I know. I do have a couple of announcements I want to make before we go, but we'll get to that in a little bit here. A couple of things I wanted to share with you. So Miguel, who's already sung your praises, messaged me and he said, they need to clone you and distribute this clone to every brick and mortar in the country. So good job on that. And
seriously, you guys, that's...
And somebody who might have some additional comments to make, although I'm going to have to get him to turn his camera on. Tim Garrity's here. So,
I just saw that name pop up. I was like, oh, no.
Tim, what do you think of Amu?
Well, that's a great question. I think, Jake, what do you think?
Hi, Jake. Hi, buddy. That's my buddy.
She's an asset to any community. Just having her in the club, it's a resource, a go-to resource when we're looking to grow our membership. Amu helps grow our membership. When we're looking to educate people, she's there to educate people. So, we got blessed. We're lucky. That's all I can say.
It's terrific.
Thank you, Mr. President. That's the president. For those of you who don't know, that is the president of the Chicago Pipe Collectors Club and a dear friend. And I take every word that all of you guys say deeply to heart.
Well, you've done a terrific job at Arlington, and I know that, like Tim says, that you are an asset to the whole pipe smoking community. So we're delighted to have you on. Because we're counting down towards the last few minutes, gentlemen, if you have any last-minute questions for Amu today, please toss your hand up. I see a lot of guys who have snuck in.
And I also realized too, if I've got 2 minutes, I'd love to tell a story about how I started Estate Pipes, actually, where the name, the Pipe Medic, came from.
Absolutely.
Absolutely brief and total consciousness of your time, of your guys' time.
No,
I'd love to share that if that's possible.
Our time is flexible. So,
Awesome.
Amu, take your time, please. Amu.
Thank you. So, the first St. Louis pipe show that I was talking about that I went to back in 2000, I think it was 2016, I think it was. I picked up a pipe. It was an old Nordine pipe, and I just loved it. I fell in love with it. Of course, I was a little bit more of an amateur than I realized, and I got halfway home before I realized that it needed to be cleaned. It was an estate pipe, and I didn't realize it. It was cleaned. I could have smoked it, but I was still kind of one of those, pipe smokers. I was like, I don't know if I want to smoke it. It's still got a little cake in it, and this and that. And so I took it home, and I contacted a couple people on Instagram that I knew fixed and cleaned pipes. Steve Laug, he's in Canada. He was one of the first people that I contacted. I said, can I send this pipe to you? And he said, no. He said, but I'll walk you through it. He goes, it's easy enough. It'll be easier for you to fix it than for anybody else. So he walked me through step by step. He held my hand, and he taught me how to clean that pipe, and I still have it. It's a great smoking Nordine. At the time, I was a paramedic on the south side of Chicago. And so what I would do is I would actually take my estate pipes to work, and when we were slow, which wasn't always very often, but when we were a little bit slower, I would just kind of hang out in the ambulance and clean my pipes. And my partner in the ambulance, she used to laugh at me, and she would get really into pipes. And then her mom was a big estate pipe she would go to a lot of state sales. And so her mom every, other week was bringing me a bag. She was coming to work with this bag of estate pipes, and Mom found these this weekend at this estate sale in Steger or whatever. And so I just started cleaning them on the ambulance, and that's where the Pipe Medic comes from.
I love it. It's awesome.
That is awesome.
Well, absolutely awesome.
Well, Amu, I just have one final question for you. And that is, will you come back and share your passion and enthusiasm with us again?
Anytime. I am so honored. We were so honored when you guys called, and was really excited to meet you, DDR. I know that it's like that, right? It's that friends have love at first sight, right? It's just, so it's just, flattered, honored, humbled, extremely humbled, and very graced to be, I feel very grateful to be able to share my excitement and passion for everything with other people who are just as or more excited about tobacco and pipes than I am. And so I thank you all, seriously. And thank you for giving me the space and the time. I try to make sure that you guys don't have to be here. You could be doing a lot of other things right now than listening to me freaking blabber on. And so for you guys to give me your time it's so valuable to me, and it's so valuable to our shop. And so thank you. I just want to thank all of you guys for coming, everybody on YouTube and Facebook, and then of course everybody here on the Zoom, and of course you, DDR, as well, and Ginger. Can't forget.
And Ginger, yes, who's finally settled down and took a nap. Well, I think, Amu, you've made a great impression on everybody. Just like, I think I mentioned this right at the beginning. So when I was at the Chicago Pipe Show, first day or so, I'm just wandering around and trying to see what all the tables were like. And I ran into Amu at some point in time. I don't think it was at your table yet. I think maybe it was in the smoking tent or something.
I think we were in the smoking tent, yeah.
Yeah, and I just immediately, like she said, friend at first sight. It was like, oh, this is a great person and easy to talk to, and loved your enthusiasm and like, I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination in anything in the world, but certainly not pipes. And so I learn from everybody who comes on the show, and I was learning from you from moment one, and I just really love that. So I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, we're gonna get on out of here. So you've heard it here. right, guys, that Amu will be back as our guest again. We're going to hold you to that. Real quick.
Yes, you let me know.
Real quick, some of the other people who are coming on. Next weekend is Ron from
Tennessee.
From Tennessee. There we go. Oh, it's you, Ron. That Ron. Yes.
Yeah.
So Ron will be back next week talking about his business of making pipes. And then the weekend after that, we've got Tom Eltang. And the weekend after that, I think I'm going on my honeymoon after that. So we'll be taking a couple of weeks break from guests, but the team will still be here, Miguel and David and Tim, to keep the meetings going. But please come back and meet our new guests in the next couple of weeks. And tell a friend. That's my thing. Tell a friend to come and watch it. One more thing that I'm going to start doing this week that we've never done before, but I had an idea that maybe we should try this just to see how it goes. A lot of guys, share with me that they can't always get to the live stream, and they can't always get to. Hold on one second here. I'm just.
Randall.
There we go. I got him. So we're going to do a midweek replay of today's show. So if somebody was not on the show today and missed meeting Amu, and here is the coolest thing about doing replays and whatnot is that although you missed the live show and live commenting, you can keep the conversation going because you can make comments anytime. Like you can still comment on during the replay, and those comments will get to Amu, and we'll be able to follow up. And so come and watch the replay midweek, and keep the conversation going. Anyway,
Where can we watch that? We watch that on YouTube? Zoom?
you'll be able to watch that both on YouTube and on Facebook. We'll just stream it right out the way we do this, and it'll be labeled. It's come watch the replay, and keep the fun going, man. All right, one last thing, as I do every week, and that is to remind everybody. So recently, right after the Chicago show, actually, I tested positive for COVID. Now, I am the one guy. I am obnoxiously healthy. Like I don't get sick hardly ever. And I've been multiply vaccinated and boosted and everything. Take plenty of caution as I can, and I still came down with COVID. So it is still out there. It is still something that can affect anybody at any time. And so we're totally not political on this show, on this club and everything, but I just want to plead with everybody to take care of themselves, whatever that means. I'm not telling you what to do. If you want to get the vax, get the vax. If you want to just quarantine in the basement, quarantine, I don't care. But please take care of yourselves because we love you and we want you to come back and smoke some more stuff. That's what we want you to do. So that's all we got for this week. These are the fantastic people that were here today. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Amu.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Amu.
Thank you, Amu.
Thank you, Amu.
You bet.
Thank
Have a
you
great
guys
week,
for
everybody.
inviting me.
We'll see you next time.
Stay
Have a
gold.
great weekend, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Bye.